Okay, should be good to go.
Okay, thanks, Justin. I'll call this meeting to order at 4 p.m. on November 5th, 2025. I will read the land acknowledgement. The city of Thorold is situated on treaty land. The land is steeped in the rich history of the First Nations, such as the Hapti-Wendaronk, the Haudenosaunee, and the Anishinaabe, including the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. There are many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people from across Turtle Island that live and work in Niagara today. The city of Thorold stands with all Indigenous people, past and present, in promoting the wise stewardship of the lands on which we live. Okay, is there any declarations of interest today? Oh, okay. Can I get a mover and a seconder to adopt the agenda, please? Vic Graham, Rebecca, all those in favor? Okay, awesome.
Justin, I can't hear anybody. It's DeRose, sorry. Michael, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, buddy.
If you can hear
Thank you.
us, check on your audio settings. There's a little slide button, and you can pick which speaker it's going to come out of. It's like select speaker and try to pick the correct one so you hear us. Perhaps, Michael, if you want to keep going until...
Yeah, sure, no problem. All right, so 5.1, adoption of the minutes. Can I get a mover and seconder to adopt the minutes, please? Vic Graham, Rebecca. Okay, thank you. All those in favor? Okay. All right, so we'll go down to 6.1. So it looks like we have a presentation. It's exciting. So we have some road safety concerns on Front Street South. Let's see, do we have Angie? We do have Angie. Can you hear us okay, Angie?
Michael, can you let Justin know I'm going to have to come back in and get out and come back in? They want me to download something on my school computer here, so I'll be a few minutes. Thank you.
Okay. Hey, Angie, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
I can, thank you.
Thank you, Michael.
All right, so I would like to call on Angela Coates for her presentation regarding road safety concerns on Front Street. You have 10 minutes for your presentation. You may go ahead.
Thank you, Michael. My name is Angie Coates. I own Angio Antiques on Front Street South, going into its 11th year. Thank you, Justin, for allowing me to speak to the parking issues currently challenging the downtown. I also have disability challenges that I have worked with City Council, in particular Ken Sentence, Jeff Holman, Steve Santos, to name a few, to help identify and resolve issues for all disabled people. I am presenting today in follow-up of the unresolved mid-block crosswalk issue on Front Street South. I am aware of the issues and questions regarding location to cross, the need to cut back curbs, the potential loss of parking spaces. I can successfully resolve all issues and request we move forward before snowfall, as this too is a long-standing unresolved issue needing attention. Along with this is blowing garbage. As you are well aware, the downtown has come to life with many successes, starting with the federal government recognizing J.C. Petissier, My Main Street. Visitors to the downtown express all the wonderful positives as well as they pick up garbage on their downtown walks and ask, who do they speak to resolve this? This and snow removal have been on the BIA agenda for my 11 years with no resolve. This is part of the OBIAA infrastructure that needs to be dealt with. I attended the last BIA meeting. The budget was passed with no monies allocated for snow removal or garbage. This is a road safety issue, not just for people with disabilities, but all people to the downtown. My concern is proactive approach Let's show other communities how progressive our city and city hall is. Again, the outstanding issues are a location of a mid-block crossing on Front Street South, garbage blowing down Front Street, an issue I can improve and possibly resolve, and snow removal barriers to the vibrant downtown, an issue I again can improve and possibly resolve. Thank you for allowing me this opportunity. I can answer any questions you have of me. Angie Coates.
Thank you very much, Angie. I was just
Thank you.
reading the correspondence there while you're having your presentation. I guess I'll open up the floor to City of Thorold for any response or rebuke on the two items I believe that are important to Angie.
Thank you.
Mr. Dunsmore.
Pardon?
Hi, Sean.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good, buddy. Thanks. Since this was brought up before, I wasn't at this meeting. Was there anything done by the city to try to address the concerns that Angie brought up in this meeting today?
Certainly the snow removal and the blowing garbage has been an issue of a memorandum of understanding between the BIA and city staff. That is being worked through at this point in time, and I believe the resolution is nearly there. If there's specific concerns about the snow removal, we can certainly look at addressing those things on an individual basis, but the snow does get removed downtown on a very regular basis. Yes, there's some windrows that happen, but we also remove that as time goes on. As for the mid-block crossing, that issue is we would have to install some flashing lights and as well as the curb cuts that she was talking about. But we've looked at that. We've been doing some work on that, but haven't really come to a resolution on it yet.
Okay, so just kind of still actively investigating the best possible routes for a solution then?
That's right. Yep.
Okay. And then I think I see something here about a disability permit. It needs a bylaw to remove time parking restrictions for off Thorold. Danny, I'm not sure if you're able to take a look at this, but do you have any information on your side on what the disability permit is and why it can't be used at all times?
Through you, Chair, I don't have any specific updates. What I can say is that last council meeting, to the best of my knowledge, council did pass a motion to have to remove the time restrictions as of Remembrance Day, November 11th. So the time restrictions will not be enforced between those times. As to having this permanently removed, potentially for the accessible permits, is something I need to further look into, and I can discuss options with the clerk and come back at the next meeting with an update.
Okay, so after November 11th, Danny, you're saying there's some temporary measures going to be put in place?
Yes, after November 11th, there is a removal of the time restrictions. So time restrictions won't be enforced from November 11th up until January 2nd. But this isn't throughout the entire year. If the question is surrounding January to December, removal for accessible permits is that's currently not an option based on the current bylaw, but it's something we can discuss. I can discuss with the clerk if that's what the committee chooses to do.
Okay, so this is kind of like a trial thing, just like a temporary, see how it goes?
This is something that's going to be happening, to the best of my knowledge, every year, but it's not surrounding accessible permits. The time exemption does apply to the accessible permits, but not throughout the entire year. If I understand, the question is surrounding the entire year to be exempt. That's not the case at this time. And again, it's something we can look into. I could discuss that with the clerk and we can report back with an update.
Sean, go ahead. You got a question? Comment?
The only comment I have is the reason that they're doing it right now is for Christmas.
Okay, that makes sense. And then that, I guess that time restriction is pretty much for everybody, right? For that period?
That's
Okay.
right.
Okay. Open up to the committee. If you guys have any questions for Angie, or do you have any questions for Sean or Danny, now's the time. Rebecca, please go ahead.
Where is the crosswalk being looked at in that mid section on Front Street? I'm just trying to picture where the placement would be.
Through you, Mr. Chair, that hasn't been decided.
Okay.
Part of the difficulty is it would be ideal if it was out on one of those bump outs, so that there'd be no loss of parking, but the bump outs don't line up across the street from each other. So it's a bit of a difficulty.
That's fair. Okay.
Excuse
Mark,
me,
go ahead.
may I speak to the parking where it's going to be, or the
Yeah, Angie,
crosswalk?
you can have a few comments. Go ahead, but
Okay, if you make it from the walkway where the parking lot, the lower lot is, you don't have to remove anything from that one side. And if it goes all the way to the other side, that's where the bump out would be, and you would lose a parking spot. But you can also gain 2 parking spots. I'm in the downtown every single day, and there's 2 areas of parking spots that can be gained, even though we've lost one. One, you've already put the lines across where parking was not allowed, and to the left of the fire hydrant. And then further down, there's a spot that everybody parks in that is not designated a parking spot. The curb could be cut back, and that would create another spot. It would only be a matter of maybe 3 feet at most that you're going to lose. So that would create 2 more parking spots, even though we're going to lose one. But if you're going to be down there cutting back the concrete anyways, that's what I would suggest, because the students walk up that walkway, they're on their phone, they're walking across the road, they're not even looking up. At least they'll be in a crosswalk area. That was my suggestion where it would be. Thank you, Michael.
Yep, no problem, Angie. Mark, did you have a question?
Yes, my question is to Sean. Good evening, Sean. Nice to see you. I'm looking at the email that is in our attached agenda that Justin prepared. It's the email it's dated October 2nd, 2025. And then I'm looking at page 7 of the email, and there's a follow-up today section. Sean, do you see that, or are you aware of that section?
Sure.
Okay. So my concern here, and it's, Ms. Coates has advised that she spoke to a lawyer about, I guess, liability that she would incur, but also my concern is what the city would incur if she was hit by a streetcar while, quote unquote, jaywalking. Has the lawyer, the city lawyer, I know it's their contract out, have they looked into this issue to assess the liability of the city, from, not to give evidence, but as, I don't know if many Mr. DeRosa knows, I am a lawyer. I am a criminal lawyer. I know that when it comes to liability, there's a lot of factors that go into it, and I just wanted to assess whether the city lawyer is aware of this, and I have a follow-up for Ms. Coates on this issue.
Through you, Mr. Chair. No, I don't believe the city lawyer has been approached in any way about giving an opinion on this. I will say that normally jaywalking is one of those things that is supposedly illegal, and therefore we'd be protected a little bit by what should have happened, and that would have been crossing at a crosswalk.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Coates, are you there?
Yes, I am.
So Ms. Coates, my question here on this particular issue is, when you went to the lawyer, did you explain the situation where the crosswalk was, and the proposal that you put forward on where the crosswalk should be, the mid crosswalk? Did you go to the lawyer and and asked the lawyer about that in terms of his assessment of liability?
No, what happened was there's two crosswalks, one at one end of Front Street and the other one down on Albert Street. And my lawyer said I should walk all the way down to that crosswalk to cross the road. And physically, I can't do that. So she said, if you were hit and you were crossing in the middle of Front Street, you could be charged with jaywalking. If I get hit, it's my fault. Which I found, I just sort of was taken aback. So that's where because I physically can't get to either end of Front Street where the crosswalks are now.
And just for a follow-up, Ms. Coates, where specifically on the street are you walking that is causing the issues? So maybe I can get a better picture of what the problem is. Where
my antique shop is, I park my vehicle. But across the street is Creekview Floral, Big Street, my hair salon, Coates's Kitchen, all of those places I go to Impact Promotions. So I can't physically cross the street to get to them. And they've been very helpful. Creekview comes to me, Impact Promotions comes to me. That's not fair. I would like to be able to cross the street and go to those shops without being jeopardizing my safety and anybody else's.
Right. Okay. I see what you're talking about. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Anyone else on that committee have any questions for the city or for Mrs. Coates? Okay. So Sean, you said you guys are still kind of figuring things out on your side, right? So I feel like maybe we should put a follow-up on the next agenda to talk about any proposed solutions that you guys may have. Is that a reasonable timeline for your perspective?
Sure.
Okay. Anyone else in the committee have any other final thoughts or comments? Councilor DeRose, please go ahead.
Yeah, I agree. I think it has to be further investigated and maybe give staff a little more time. Just like you said, Michael, I think that's the best plan forward. And just want to say, Mark, nice to see you, a former student of mine. Nice to see you, buddy. Thank you. Angie, thank you for your presentation and your concerns.
Yeah, we really do appreciate it. And we definitely feel for you, and we understand the situation that you're in, and we'll do the best we can with the city to try to make your life a little bit easier.
Thank you, Michael.
Absolutely. Thank you again.
Can I go now?
You're free to go.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's go down to the correspondence here. I have 7.1 PWCS 39-2025. So this was Allenberg Road and Windle Village Crescent intersection traffic control measures. So at the meeting, the council meeting August 12th, council passed the report PWCS 39-2025 regarding Allenberg Road and Windle Village Crescent intersection traffic control measures. So let's see if take a look at that. All right, so this is obviously close to a school zone, it looks like, and one of the measures is adding some school zone painting on the roadway to be added to provide drivers with advance warning. Mr. Dunsmore, do you have any additional information on the traffic controls that would be implemented?
Through you, Mr. Chair, the trick to that is that was already approved by council, so
okay.
that it's going to be installed. You've already seen all those reports because it came to you guys before it went to council.
Yeah, that was on. It was in the States on that time, so sorry I missed that one. But okay, that's good. So if everything's good, do you just want us to recommend to move forward, or
no? I just it's just for information purposes.
Informational purposes. Okay,
yeah.
Thank you. Anyone have any questions or comments about the proposal that's been passed? No. Okay. Let's go down to PWCS 40-2025. So Port Robinson Road, Cataract Road to Merrittville Highway traffic safety measures. At the meeting on August 12th, council passed the report PWCS 40-2025 regarding Port Robinson Road, Cataract Road to Merrittville Highway traffic safety measures. Okay. Does anyone on the committee have any feedback on the proposed changes? Okay, that's good. Head down to 7.3. So PWCS 44-2025. So Park Lane and Richmond Street all-way stop. So at the meeting on August 12th, council passed report PWCS 44-2025 regarding Park Lane, Richmond Street all-way stop. So let's see, got an attachment on this one. Does anyone on the committee have any comments or feedback on this one? Okay, I think I know the one you're talking about. I think I've seen it. Okay.
Councilor Rose wants to talk.
Oh, sorry, Councilor Rose, didn't see you there. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, some people probably don't know, but it was implemented. From my observations, I travel by there quite often. A couple of times though, I've had to shout at a few people that just drove through it. I don't know if they didn't see it or if they're just being ignorant, but, yeah, but I, from my focused observations, just going through there a couple of times a day, it seems like it's working. If anybody else has, please give your feedback as well. But like I said, there's still a couple right when I approached it that went right through it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Councilor DeRose. Yeah, so I think this is one that just basically juts out from Richmond Street School, right? That's a new one. Okay.
Yeah, right in front of the TCAG as well in Richmond
Yeah.
School.
Yeah, okay. I noticed that when I was riding the bike. Okay. Yeah, okay, that's good. Again, with any new stop sign, people not really paying attention, boom, it's not there. So hopefully over time, people will get used to it and that won't happen anymore. Thank you for your feedback, Councilor DeRose. All right, let's go down to 7.4. So PWCS 45-2025, Richmond Street at Tupper Drive, Romy Crescent intersection, interim four-way stop and traffic markings. So this was also passed by council on August 12th. And yeah, so I've also seen this one. It's kind of on my bike route. And I think this is kind of a long time coming, especially people coming down from the hill and they just don't brake and go extremely too fast. So I'm very happy that this has been implemented. Does anyone else have any comments or feedback on this one? Okay, great.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Mark.
So the one thing I'll say is that I drive down this street quite a bit, and obviously I noticed the changes. The one thing I'll say is that when you're coming over the hill and going down, it's one of the same issues that on the opposite side of the overpass, it was where the students live. It's the Confederation, Richmond cutoff. For the longest time, people were running those stop signs because you can't see. And then what happened was council put lights or more of a, I guess, caution instruments on the road. The one thing I noticed with this one here on the Tupper is the same thing. Is you drive down, you can barely see it until you get there, and a lot of people are driving through them as well. So that's the only concern that I've had with the new calming enforcement is when you come over the hill, especially at night, you can't see that there's a stop sign there.
Right, that makes sense. So on the going to the Confed side, is there like some kind of yellow signage you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Dunsmore, is it possible to get some yellow signage as well on the other side of the overpass, so that when driving at night, that's a very good point, that it can be visible so people have an idea that the stop sign is coming?
Through you, Mr. Chair, it's already there.
Okay. Guess
Well,
you need to go for another drive, Mark.
I don't know if I should be on this committee anymore.
If we want to put flashing lights or anything like that on top of the stop signs, which we do on occasion, we would need to go revisit that. But they're expensive. But the stop ahead signs, especially with a new stop sign, we always install them.
Okay. So I guess we'll just have to go over and take a look and make sure it's okay. But
at nighttime,
at night, Yeah.
It's terrible. But the other side, there's more lighting when you pass the intersection. The lighting near Tupper is not. It's very dim.
Right. Okay. Well, I'll have to go check that out myself and take a look, but it seems like Sean and his team's already all over it. So thank you for that, Sean. Any other questions or comments about this item? Okay, moving on. So we're at 7.5, CLK 13-2025. So this is parking exemptions for special events. So at the meeting October 28th, 2025, so this was last week, Council passed report CLK 13-2025 regarding parking exemptions for special events. I'll open up to the committee for any questions or comments. So this is kind of what Danny talked about earlier with the parking, which I mean makes sense, especially with the downtown and how it's kind of booming right now. So that makes sense. I don't have anything on this one. Okay, let's move on to 7.6. So PWCS 52-2025. So the Gil Gordon parking lot tender award. So at the meeting last week, Council passed report PWCS 52-2025 regarding the Gil Gordon parking lot tender award. Does anyone have any questions or comments on this item? Not Rolling Meadows. Okay. Okay, we're all good. We'll move on as well. All right, let's head down to some committee business. 8.1 St. David's Hill. So I think this is one of Donna's items that she's been talking about for quite some time. So Donna, if you want to take it away, go ahead. Just have to unmute first.
I'm having trouble hearing you. Could you say that again, please?
Oh, sorry, Donna. We're on committee business 8.1 for St. David's Hill. I believe this is one of the items that you brought up in previous sessions.
Oh, the big trucks?
The big trucks, that's right.
Yes. Yeah, as you may remember, I live quite close there. And if you're familiar with St. David's Road, it is very narrow, especially from Ormond Street up to the Avondale. I don't remember it's kind of both are St. David's Road. There have been a lot of trucks, and I mean transport trucks, 14-wheelers, 16-wheelers, and many of them have started using that probably because of the four-way stop now. So it's easy to get through that intersection. So I'm wondering if there is already maybe a restriction for vehicle size on that road because of how narrow it is. And if not, then maybe that should be considered. It's already so narrow that even one of those really big pickups take up more space than they should. And it can be very difficult to get around the corners, for example. And if they're going at a good clip, as many vehicles do, it can be hazardous. So I'm just thinking that maybe somebody should be looking at that issue just for that stretch that's so narrow.
Yeah, I do agree, and I drive a bigger truck, so I absolutely know what you're saying. Mr. Dunsmore, wasn't this street on the city budget to get, was that one of the next streets to get redone?
It's one of the next ones to get redone, but the first step is going to be to do the town line section. So at the Avondale, we're redoing the intersection of St. David's and Town Line, and then we're going to take and redo Town Line all the way down to Ormond Street. At that point in time, there's going to be we're going to extend the road Town Line right to Ormond. So I'm hoping, and maybe I'm a little misguided on this, but I hope that most of the transport trucks will go that way instead, because we're going to put traffic lights. So I would like to suggest that the best approach would be to wait for that construction to be finished, it's already been tendered. We've already got a contractor on board. You'll see that most of that construction next year. And then maybe we can come back and revisit that idea of restricting the load or the size of the vehicles. There is not currently a restriction on those vehicles, but we certainly, if the committee would like and council would agree that we could certainly add that restriction if necessary.
If I
Go ahead,
may, Mr. Chair, or through Mr. Chair, Mr. Dunsmore, I thought when we discussed this issue a few meetings back, didn't you say that section was going to be a few years before it's addressed,
Yeah.
widened or whatever?
Through you, Mr. Chair, yeah, the next step is the town line portion.
Right.
And it's gonna go down to Ormond Street. And then St. David's will follow that, and probably 2 or 3 years after the fact.
Okay, then maybe looking at a weight restriction might not be a bad idea in the interim.
Sure, we can do that.
Rebecca, go ahead.
Yeah, I actually live in this area as well. And I think part of the challenge is we like with the Pine Street Plaza, you have Foodland and Rexall and a couple other places that get large delivery trucks. So there's really actually no other way for them to get down the hill conveniently, because either they have to go up, even with the Town Line Road extension being built out, they'll have to go up St. David's Road West or Street West to get to that intersection at any point. So I think likely the solution would be once they do the widening and resurfacing, then that probably will be lessened. But that plaza does propose a challenge coming to get out to like Merritt and down that way, which I think most of them are going. So we could look at a weight restriction, but I don't know how else they'll get out of that plaza sometimes.
Yeah, that's a good point. I walk by there all the time, and they're coming and going multiple times a day. Dawn, please go ahead.
From what I've observed, it's not the delivery van size of vehicle I'm worried about. It's the really big transport trucks. Like, you don't expect to see them on a little side road in a town like that. Most of them that I notice are turning left, or towards the canal from Ormond, or coming down the hill on St. David's. They go across and they go up towards the canal. So I'm not sure that we're talking about the same size of vehicles. The deliveries usually come in smaller trucks, like 10-wheelers, and I don't know if there are 10-wheelers, but anyway, smaller ones. And those are easier to fit on that narrow road. But the really big ones, there just isn't room for those and regular traffic.
Okay, so they're kind of using it as a thorough way to get to the canal, is what you're saying. Okay. Gee, that's a tough one.
Well, from the plaza, the only way that we'd be able to go would be to go up to Pine Street South and turn up, what is that, Richmond, and come around circle back to get out of there. Or if they were going up to Meriton, they'd have to go the other way, I guess. But you're right, it is hard to get out of the plaza without going on St. David's Road if you're heading out of town.
Councilor DeRose, please go ahead.
Thank you, through you, Chair. Yeah, just to staff, Sean, is it I don't see it in Thorold anywhere, but I've seen communities where they'll ban transport trucks from certain roads. Have we ever done that in Thorold?
Through you, Mr. Chair, I don't know that we've ever done it, but it is doable. St. Catharines did it on Bradley Street, which is right there by Big Red, right? As a matter of fact, they did it to stop Big Red from sending their trucks down there.
Yeah, I know it'd be hard to enforce, but it's probably the least we can probably do. Can we look into that?
For sure we can.
A possibility? And it'd just be the cost of the signage, correct?
Yes, and
some staff time, yeah.
Whatever.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks, Councilor DeRose. Mr. Dunsmore, is that something we need to push to council, or is that something you can your team can tackle in the meantime?
whatever Sean advises, whatever direction he wants to, he would advise. What do you think, Sean?
We can certainly take on the task if you guys agree. But I would like direction from the committee to make that happen.
Okay. Mark, please go ahead.
Yes, through you, Mr. Chair, and I apologize if earlier I didn't say through you, Mr. Chair. I'm learning how to do
It's all
that.
good. I make mistakes all the time, my friend.
So I apologize. I'm going to draw on the concerns of Rebecca. I do think that part of road safety is a risk assessment and the balancing of risks here. For example, if a truck is doing a delivery to Foodland or Rexall, their potential route from getting from the highway would be either go down Town Line, St. David's Town Line, turn onto Pine, or the alternative would be to go down Collier, right in front of the school area, which obviously we have some speed enforcement, I guess, in front of what used to be Clancy, where I went to school with Mr. DeRose, is now our Holy Rosary. It's a balancing risk here. Are we going to have transport trucks going down St. David's Town Line, cutting across on Pine, or they're going to go reroute around towards Collier, turn left on Sullivan, and come through very narrow neighborhoods? I live on Queen Street South, right by Holy Rosary Church. I would hate to see on my street transport trucks coming down Queen Street in order to bypass the new ban on St. David's. It's a balancing a risk here. Another thing I'll say in response to what Donna, I think it's a valid concern. You're seeing a lot of these transport trucks turning left, right in front of Mike's Auto, the Thorold Arena. That's because they can't go up that hill. It would take a lot of for a transport truck, which is carrying a hull, a 10 wheel, as Donna said, to go up that hill back to St. David's. It's not convenient for them, and it's actually, in my submission, would be a more dangerous and a more of a limitation on the roadways than what it is now, which is just a lot of free movement. It's just a balancing of risk here. What do we want? Transport trucks driving in front of schools, or going down what I see as a side road in Thorold?
Well, that's a lot of food for thought. Go ahead, Donna. Please go ahead.
I'm sorry if I wasn't clear. When I said they were turning left, I meant they were entering Thorold on Ormond Street North, like coming up the hill from Meriton and then down, and then they turn left to go up toward the canal. So some of them now are coming down the hill from down St. David's Road and just crossing at the new four-way stop to get to the canal. So that's what I meant. I'm sorry if I wasn't clear about that.
Okay.
Just,
Councilor Rose, please go ahead.
I know Sean had his hand up as well. Just a quick question. Donna, are you saying they're turning next to the high school and passing it, going down St. David's towards the canal?
They're turning left at the high school, yes.
Yeah, okay. I got a better vision of it. Thank you.
Sean, please go ahead.
If you want, I could bring a map up and let everybody see what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can everybody see that?
Yes.
Okay, so she's saying they're coming south from Ormond Street North, and they're making the left-hand turn down St. David's Road East.
Yes.
Generally, I think they're servicing this industrial area here.
Yes.
That's actually what's happening. It's not, right, if everybody could see on my drawing, the Pine Street Plaza's a little bit further over this way.
Mm.
This is McMillan Park, right? That's the arena. Right there. So so are you asking for the truck restriction on this part of the road, the St. David's Street?
No. This
No,
part of the road, oh, you can't see my cursor.
Yeah, but
That way, yes.
this part of the road, yeah.
Yep, that's the part that's really narrow.
Yeah, I agree. It's actually probably right from there through that
Yeah.
it becomes very narrow. Yep.
All the way up to there, yeah.
Yep, I know what you're talking about. We can certainly look at those options and report back to this committee, okay?
Mhm.
Okay. Thank you for that, Sean. Do you need us to pass any motions, or are you guys gonna just kind of take a look at it and come back with some information we can?
If you could, that would be good.
Okay, can I get a mover or a seconder to adopt a motion for the city of Thorold to take a look at the possible options or solutions for that? Donna as a mover and Councilor Rose as a seconder. All those in favor? Okay, there you go, Sean. Okay, thanks, guys. Let's go down to 8.2. So this is parking concerns at 8 Carlton Street. I'll open up for the committee for any questions or comments. So I think, Mr. Giroux, this one's kind of pushed by you. If you want to give some more information.
Yeah, you know what? I should have let you know ahead of time. The staff is already on this, and
Okay.
it's the wheels are in motion. Deal with this. If Sean could fill us in and just verify, but I'm pretty sure, correct, Sean?
Yes-ish. The issue with 8 Carlton is that it's the senior center, if anybody, or 50-plus center, I guess it's called. Recently, the city has moved some of their offices into the second story of that building earlier this year, I believe, maybe last year. And so it's created a bit of a jam in terms of parking. So as part of that construction, we're adding a parking lot to the north side of the existing parking lot. We're going to add about 30 to 35 parking spots in there, which should help alleviate the issue. Some of the complaint that is actually being had is the parking that's going on the street. It's making it very difficult for people to the church that's just south of the senior center there has funerals and whatnot, and sometimes the parking on the street interferes with their ability to hold the funeral. So that we are working on that. There's another side issue that maybe isn't being dealt with as part of this parking lot issue, or is that there appears to be some people parking at the intersection of Claremont and Carlton, which is right there where the church is. And those people are walking into the downtown to avoid the parking passes and whatnot. So there's some requests, complaints, if you will, coming our way that they want to extend a 2-hour maximum parking time limit, similar to or to that intersection as well. And so along Carlton or along Claremont and Regent, so that people don't make that use that as their daytime parking for their jobs. So that may be a subject of a future report from us to you, and then to council from there.
Interesting. Okay. So you mentioned at some point there's going to be some more parking spaces available at the senior center.
Yeah, construction should begin on that immediately after Remembrance Day.
Oh, wow. Okay. Does anyone else have any questions or comments? Well, it seems to me like we're gonna get some more parking That hopefully should alleviate the problem. If there's
Right.
still issues around, Councilor Rose, please go ahead.
Oh, through you, Chair. Yeah, so Sean, I think Danny, I CC to a lady I grew up with, Karen, she on Claremont. Is that a separate issue then, Sean, dealing with the Claremont congestion?
Not completely separate, but certainly going to be dealt with differently than and I believe that there may be a separate issue, meaning this parking lot is not going to solve the problem.
Danny, you had your hand up.
Yeah.
Please go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna finish. Sorry. For you, Chair, can I just finish up?
Yeah, please go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, no, because I know the lady that did write us a letter, she even said that sometimes there's students living downtown that park there for extended periods of time. So just keep that in mind when we're looking at it. I don't know how to deal with that, but just to let you know. Thank you. Sorry, Chair. Thank you.
No problem, Mr. Rose. Danny, please, you had a comment?
Yes, through you, Chair. I just want to let everybody know that the parking enforcement officers are in the area. We are enforcing the intersection safety concerns there. Anyone parking too close to the intersection, that has been addressed, and it is being addressed several times per day. And I myself have seen those vehicles now relocate to a different area. So I just wanted to add those comments because that was quite a bit of a concern. There was 3 to 5 vehicles continuously parking, obstructing the site there, and that's been taken care of now.
Okay. Thank you for the comments, Danny. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Dunsmore, please go ahead.
Can I just add one more little thing? Is on the other end of downtown at Claremont and Pine by the McDonald's there. I'm receiving a similar complaint about some parking on Pine Street, and people are parking there for long term. And so the suggested solution on that, and I just received that complaint today. Suggested solution from the complainant on that was to extend that 2-hour limit to that intersection as well. So we'll report back on any progress that's made on all of those.
One of the joys of a growing city, eh?
Mhm.
Okay. Councilor Rose, you still had your hand up. Do you have any more comments? Or are you okay?
Oh, through you, Chair. No, I'm good. Sorry, I got to take that down.
Yeah, that's okay.
Just
Got
right.
people raising the hand, got the virtual hands.
I got to find it. Thank you. Sorry.
It's okay. Okay, so I'm guessing, Mr. Dunsmore, this is probably not the last we've heard of enforcing 2-hour limits and around the downtown area. Okay, but it's good to hear that we're adding more parking spaces because I know my mom frequents the senior center all the time, and it was a bit of a concern there as well. So, okay, looking forward to the next updates. Does anyone else have any questions or comments on this item? No. Okay. Let's go down to 8.3. So this is traffic calming reports. So a committee may want to pass a motion for each of these. Okay. So traffic calming, Cottonmire Road between Turner Road and Port Robinson Road. Like to call on staff to get some information on this item, please.
Through you, Mr. Chair, the general observation was that this was a request for traffic calming. We did our background study, and traffic calming wasn't warranted in the area.
Okay. Is this the one where you just like do a couple days, do your traffic study, and then get information from there, and basically says not worth it?
Hold on just a second. Paula, was that?
I think this one is worth it.
Oh.
I apologize.
Oh, we got Alex
The
here. Hey,
first
Alex. Sorry, Justin. Alex has got his hand up. I think maybe his report. Please, Alex, go ahead.
I apologize. I misspoke. Alex and Paula will take it from here.
Through you, Mr. Chair, I just would like to make that correction, but I'd like to just turn that over to Paula, who did the writing of the report.
Okay, go ahead, Paula.
Okay, so basically we received a petition of speeding down Cottonmire Road between Turner Road and Port Robinson Road. We sent out, we called for some traffic studies, and they warranted that some measures needed to be implemented. We held a PIC and it was very well attended. We were proposing 4 speed bumps, 2 speed bumps between Turner Road and Hurricane, 2 speed bumps between Cotmar and Port Robinson, and that was at the request of most of the petitioners. During that PIC, there was an overwhelming response for having 2 all-way traffic stops, one at Cotmire and Turner, and one at Cotmire and Hurricane. Myself and Alex went out and we did a site investigation, and we do believe we heard the residents and we can validate their concerns were valid. So we're proposing reducing the speed limit along that road. We're still proposing the 2 or 4 speed bumps total, and we're asking for 2 always stops. So that's the report's been written, and the reason we've got it here at Road Safety Committee is we're just hoping to get your endorsement on the report.
Okay. Wow, that's a lot of recommendations. So I guess that really was justified. That's very interesting. Thank you very much, Paula, for that information. Yeah, I totally get that. Do we get some feedback from the committee? If anyone has any questions or comments they'd like to add before we put this to motion? Okay, that was easy.
Councillor DeRose has his hand up.
Oh, sorry, I can't see down there, Councillor Rose. Getting a little dark these days.
I'm
Go ahead.
afraid to use the hand, Chair, just because it wouldn't come out.
I can see the hand better than I can. Yeah, okay, go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, great report. You know what? Those people are really, I'm sure they'll be happy to hear all the results because they were concerned, and great job. Thank you. I will support it 100%.
Thank you.
Okay, Mark, please go ahead.
Yes, through you, Mr. Chair. Paula, Alex, fantastic report, thorough. I just have one question. The recommendations, is it all 5 recommendations that you're seeking, or is it 2, 3? Like I'm just trying to get my head around the request.
So we're seeking reducing the speed limit. We're seeking 4 speed humps that was put forward by the on the petition for slowing down traffic, and as a result of having the PIC, the overwhelming, almost every single person wanted those 4-way always stops at 2 locations. And as I said, Alex and I went out and did quite a observation. And we do see what the concerns were, so we're asking for it all.
Okay. It's just a follow-up question, and it's going to call for a little bit of speculation, but I think context is important and understanding. Based on your research and study, is there a particular reason that you've concluded why you're seeing this increase in traffic, or like I would, for lack of a better term, dangerous driving on this particular road?
One of the things that was noted is the large developments happening at the end of the road. So people are using the Cotmire as a kind of a cut through rather. So it's seeing increasing volumes because of developments in the area.
Okay, thank you. I agree with Mr. DeRose. This is a fantastic report, and I've driven Cotmire Road many times, and it's much needed in the neighborhood. So I thank Paul and I thank Alex for terrific work on this report.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mark. Okay. Can I get a mover and a seconder for passing the motion of recommending this to council? Mark and Donna, and then all those in favor? Awesome. And again, great work, Alex and Paula. Really do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, so that was cool. Let's see, 8.32, PWCS 65-2025. So traffic calming on Holland Road and Hollow Road intersection. Staff, if you have some feedback, please go ahead.
Go ahead, Paula.
Okay, so we received a petition about the intersection at Hollow and Holland Road, and I don't know if anybody's been there. It's quite an interesting intersection. So through the petition, we ended up ordering some studies. So the studies showed that the intersection warranted some traffic calming. We have not held a PIC yet, but Alex and I went out and did again a site observation from all three locations approaching that intersection. And so we are proposing always stop condition at that intersection. There's a warning light as you're approaching the intersection further down Holland Road, and we were just wanting to make the flashing light just tell what maybe the condition could be when that there's a stop ahead. So basically, that area, turning it into an always stop. The reason being is we from the petition, and even Alex and I being out there, if you have any hesitation of what you're going to do or you don't know where you're going to go, it does create a very tricky situation for everybody. So kind of, if you know that everybody has a stop, you can anticipate now what the other driver's action is going to be. So we're hoping that we may not need a PIC, and hoping to get road safety committee endorsement and just move this to council.
Councillor DeRose, please go ahead.
Yeah, through you, Chair. Paula, just a heads up. I would, like, I've been getting calls. I live right near there, so I go through there every day. I would have the PIC just so they have some ownership to it. But the other thing I'm going to tell you, I understand why they haven't put a three-way stop, and Sean will probably support what I'm saying. If you're coming from where I live up Hollow Hill, if you stop in the winter and you don't have four-wheel drive, you're kind of screwed.
Heard that.
Oh yeah, so that's the only thing I could think of that we've got four-wheel drive because we live there and we know what it's like when it snows. But any car with two-wheel drive, which is many of them, I don't think they're going to be able. They're going to get stuck there. Even school buses, if they can't drive up through Hollow onto and right onto Holland. But you're right. So like something's got to be done. Just to let you know, there is no flashing stop sign on the west side of that intersection. Just to let you know, and that they're asking that something like that should be included there, because I've driven up the hill and sometimes the car coming down Holland just didn't even stop and just ran right through it, and just I was a couple of seconds away from getting in a severe accident, and it just was very fortunate. But so I don't know if you might have to rethink that, and I don't know, Sean. I'd like to get Sean's opinion too, because he's familiar with that neck of the woods. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor DeRose. Mr. Dunsmore, want to follow up?
Yeah, I agree with Councillor DeRose that it's a very challenging intersection. And that's part of the reason we were actually asking for the endorsement tonight, was to try to do something out there. Our fear is that if we leave that condition, it's gonna become more and more dangerous. But we do understand Councillor DeRose's hesitation because of the especially with the winter coming, of having those cars stuck down in the hollow there.
Marco, you had a question? Please go ahead.
Through you, Chair. My question's for Paula, not to single you out, Paula, but your name is on the report. Again, so the first question is, it's going to sound like a dumb question on my part, but what is a PIC?
A public information center. So that's what happens is after we receive a PIC and studies warrant that there is some traffic calming measures required, we invite the public to come out and we present something to them, some measures, and we collect comments, and then we bring the comments back. Sometimes we and sometimes it helps us to fill out the report a little more, or change our course of action, or modify things.
Okay, so my follow-up question, now that I know what a PIC is, and it can be for Alex, Paul, or Sean. I see Sean laughing. I'm quite new to this, the lingo, so I apologize. So my question is, what difference would a PIC make in getting certain measures as opposed to what you're proposing now? That's simply my question. What difference would PIC make? Is it just a technicality? Is it substantially there's something different? Would it be more cost effective? What is the purpose behind a PIC, essentially?
I'll let Alex go ahead. Go ahead, Alex.
So if I may, through the chair, just like us staff going to road safety committee, we would like to get feedback from you guys and get your opinion on it. So sometimes it's kind of really difficult to understand the petition. We like to be able to assess it. We go out on site and then present that to the public on what our understanding of what the petitions are. So the petition, the PIC is really very important to hear directly from the residences, because sometimes a written petition could be misinterpreted. By them understanding what we are proposing, then we have a better understanding. It's a way of getting the feedback to a different medium of communication by having a face-to-face with the public.
Okay.
Thanks,
And the
Alex.
final question.
Go ahead, Nick. Go ahead, Mike. Sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, Councillor DeRose.
Yeah, I just wanted to respond to Mark as well. And I agree with Alex. But Sean brought up a good point. I do not want to delay any improvements there. The only thing is, I'll give you an example. Several years ago, Sean, I don't know if you remember, but there was suggestions after traffic calming in Hollow and Holland, near the Howell's Pumpkin Patch, about putting speed bumps. And that was decided by the city. Once we had a PIC, every resident was like tearing a strip off staff. They didn't want speed bumps for many reasons that they said. And yeah, so just to let you know, that's you kind of want to have them, they got skin in the game. So you'd hate to do something and then they say, oh, that's useless, or you know what I mean? You kind of want their endorsement, but like Sean said, I don't want to delay this. So I don't know which direction to go, because you want to get it done right away, but then again, maybe we should have had it before. I don't know, but any advice from staff would be appreciated.
Alex, please go ahead.
Through the chair, and that's the reason why we really needed that feedback from the public. And I know that I'm trying to push to get this through right away. I recognize and we are aware of Councilor DeRose and what Sean mentioned about the steep incline on Hollow driving northeast, I believe. So we're looking at the appropriate location for the stop sign. So one of the thoughts that we're looking at is to bring back the stop sign a little bit away from the intersection, so that when a transport truck, right, stops during winter, they have the ability to stop and crawl through the intersection. So that's one of the things that we're looking at. I've also heard on this discussion about having the flashing light going east on Holland. I don't think it's necessary, but that being said, we're gonna look at that. But part of what we would like to put in is an oversized stop sign. The traffic going eastbound is flat enough that I think by putting an oversized stop sign, they could see it. But the one going westbound is a little bit different. It's because it goes around a curb. So we're looking at to enhance the flashing light with proper signage, and look at other measures of a speed check similar to other locations. So we're trying to explore that, but then again, we like to go through this committee and go to public, if that is your direction, to hear more from the public what they thought about our solution.
Thank you, Alex. Well, it's very interesting, because I'm like with everybody, safety first. We should probably do something we can before the winter, but it's very important to have public comment to find, hey, is this a good solution? Should we change it? And if we can find maybe some kind of middle ground, just to get some stop signs out there to make sure people are safe, and then the public can chime in and give us some more information so we can have all parties involved and come up with a proper solution. Councilor Rose, you had your hand up.
I just wondered, to Alex, Sean, and Paula, is it possible to at least inform the people that signed the petition, just so that they're on board with it, and maybe you can avoid the pick? I don't know, but that's one thing. Maybe keep them in the loop and let them know what you've come up with. We share the report with them, and then get some feedback from them. I don't know what the best way, but I definitely don't want to slow it down, but you want to get it right. Thank you.
Agreed. Alex, please go ahead.
To the chair, you are correct, Councilor DeRose. We do actually put our traffic calming initiatives and solutions ahead of the PIC through the Let's Talk Thorough. We do get in touch with the petitioners that is up on our website prior to PIC, so that they have a heads up prior to coming to our PIC.
Thank you, Alex.
Thank you, Alex.
Mark, please go ahead.
Thank you. Through you, Chair. So I echo the concerns of Councilor DeRose and Council. I think, quote, if it's Benjamin Franklin says, "You may delay, but time will not." And I think there is some urgency here. And I think if this goes to a vote to the committee, I think I'm siding with having the stop signs be put in and not having the PIC, because I do think that there is some inevitability here. And I think that, like I said, there's some urgency here. And I think that that both Mr. Sales and Ms. Wake has provided enough of an entry basis to show that it's warranted. And the responses, like I said, it's very responsive to the risk at place here. So I don't want to differ from Councilor DeRose, my former teacher, but I do think there's some urgency here, and I think the request is quite reasonable in the circumstances.
Okay, thanks, Mark. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get a motion. I'm gonna put it up to the vote. We got a mover and a seconder to pass the motion. Like, stop signs can be moved, right? Paint can be moved. I feel like it's important to at least get something in there. I like Councilor DeRose's information there and saying, get the information out to the residents, see what they want to say. If we do a PIC, it's a later date, okay, but let's make sure the safety of the residents is first and foremost. And if we need to improve upon the plan, we can certainly do so. So can I get a mover and a seconder to pass the motion?
Right, one more question.
Okay, yeah, go ahead, buddy.
You, Chair. Can I just get, I know Sean's been there a million times, Paula and Alex, can I just get you to drive up that hill again at Hollow? Because if, like I said, and Sean will agree again, if you stop on that hill and you don't have four-wheel drive, you're going backwards. And it's happened to school buses. I've seen it through all the years. I've been there a long time. And so just to let you know, that's the only thing I might stop at is the stop sign for the people coming up the hill. Because once it snows and it's icy, they're going to have a heck of a time restarting their wheels to go forward. That's all. I just wanted to bring that to their attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rose. Donna, you had a comment?
Yes, I do. I also have been on that road many times, and I know exactly what you mean. That is a very steep incline. I'm thinking if the problem is people not stopping at the stop sign, maybe that's the only part that needs to be addressed with urgency. To, like, I don't know what the cost balance is, but to make it a bigger sign or with a flashing red, make sure there's no trees blocking it, and it, stop ahead sign to give them drivers a heads up that they have to stop in a minute. Maybe that's going to take care of the bulk of the risk at that intersection, and that might be enough for the winter at least. And then it can be evaluated again in the spring to see if more needs to be done, because that incline is going to prevent people from getting out. People without four-wheel drive, like Councillor DeRose said, there's really no other exits from that road until Font Hill just about. So that's the only way out. Then we don't want to have to make people go buy a four-wheel drive just to get out of their neighborhood. So I think maybe we could look at other solutions that could be implemented quickly before winter.
Alex or Paula, any comments on that one?
The only thing I was thinking is, could that one be a yield sign? Could that location just be a yield and then assess maybe the third stop sign later? I don't know.
Because the whole like getting stuck on a steep hill, totally understand. I don't want that to happen.
I don't know.
No one does. Alex, please go ahead with your comments.
Well, I guess through further consultation with Sean offline, probably the best approach here is still we have to go through the PIC and present the different options that we have as relates to Holland and see where we go with it.
Councilor Droz, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I like what Paula said, a yield sign coming up, but maybe we can just focus before you get the PIC done, and Sean's right. It's a great idea. Maybe just enhance that stop sign to make it like do what you were going to do with that stop sign when you're traveling east. So on the top of the hill, the left side of that hill. I think that's a great idea just to do that for now, and then follow the pick advice, but also a yield sign's a very good idea, Paula. Thank you for coming up the hill.
Okay.
Just so people are aware, hey, someone's going to be coming through there and they might not stop. So that gives them a heads up. Thank you.
Okay. I think maybe we can find the middle ground until we get a PIC here. So let's see. Let's try to pass a motion that we'd like to enhance the current stop sign so that it is more visible for everybody. And if we could just add a yield sign coming up that hill so people are aware they're coming into the dangerous intersection, and then we'll let the PIC and let the people decide what's the best way permanently to move forward. Can I get a mover and a seconder for that motion, please?
And just to be clear, it's enhance the stop sign, put in a yield sign, and then hold the PIC.
Yes, please. Yeah, can I get a mover and a seconder on that? Don on Rebecca. Okay. All those in favor? Okay, that was an interesting one. Thank you for the city staff for absolutely great report, and the committee for the comments there. So hopefully in the future we'll have a permanent solution that everyone in the public can agree with. So again, thank you for that. Okay, moving along here. Traffic comment request. Okay, so we have 8.4.1. So this is Homestead Way and Uppers Lane. So let's take a look at that.
Yeah.
If anyone have any questions or comments, please go ahead. This is from Paula again. Okay. Paula, do you want to give just a little background on this one, if you don't mind?
So Homestead Way, we received a petition regarding speeding. We sent out, we ordered some speed studies. They did not warrant traffic calming measures. So the package was prepared and sent to roadside safety. Actually, that's the same for the next three items.
Okay. Vikram, this is your neck of the woods. Go ahead.
So I have a few questions here, Paula, and to the engineering team. You guys have said that no intervention is required at the moment. A few questions that come to mind before we send the same information back to the respondents. One, this speed study was done in the month of August, if I'm correct?
Do you have that in the, would you be able to?
I believe that's in August,
Okay,
sometime in August. So that's basically the off-school time and off-peak time. So schools are closed, so the traffic flow itself is less on these roads during that time. That's one observation that I made.
Okay.
Secondly, the study is not very clear as to where the devices or the instruments were placed to measure the traffic flow. I mean, if the devices were placed close to the intersections between Sunset and Homeway, or Homestead and Uppers, or Uppers and let's say Barker or Venture Way, then people would generally tend to slow down close to the intersections.
Okay.
So were these instruments placed in the middle of the roads. I mean, I say in the middle of the roads means, let's say if the road is a kilometer wide, was it placed at half a kilometer, so that that's the point where people normally speed up. People will normally tend to speed down close to an intersection. So that's not very clear in the report.
Okay.
And thirdly, if I'm not very familiar with the laws of the city, but the study was done for a day. I believe in most of Ontario, the study in residential areas is done up to 48 to 72 hours in such cases. So can we clarify these 3 points? Number one,
I
yeah.
can clarify it was done in August. I can clarify 24 hours, but I can't clarify the location. So I'd have to look back at the study, but I don't know that I can clarify where they set up the cameras.
Mr. Dunsmore, go ahead.
Through you, Mr. Chair, yes, they would absolutely be put as far away from the intersections as possible, because we do want to get as much information as possible. And yes, we only do the 24 hours, but we could certainly do it for a longer period of time. And if you think that August is a bad time for us, we can certainly go back and revisit.
Through you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Mr. Dunsmore. Through you, Mr. Chair, because this is the second time a request has come from the same area regarding traffic calming, because we do see, and I stay on Homestead, so we do see cars speeding by at a much faster rate. And this is the concern of most of the residents in that area. And now it's become more so on Barker Parkway as well. So it's a request that before we close down this request, if we can repeat the study during some peak hours and for maybe, let's say, 2 days, and we are very clear about where these devices are placed to measure the car speeds, that'll be, that's a proper way to announce to the residents that everything's been taken care of.
Okay, that's some fair requests. So obviously during the school year is what you're recommending, not on the off season, right?
Yes.
Okay, and then you're also like to try 48 hours to see if you can get a bigger, bigger net, so to speak, to try to see what is actually going on over there.
Right.
Okay. Questions and comments from the committee? Okay, fair enough. I think that's a reasonable request. I'd like to, Mr. Dunsmore, please. Yeah, feedback's welcome.
Yeah, can we just get that request and approved by the committee?
Yeah, that's what I was going for. Yeah. Beat me to the punch there, Sean, almost. Okay, so I'd like, Justin, please go ahead.
Chair, I recommend it be that the Road Safety Committee recommends staff revisit doing a traffic calming study at this area.
Yeah, recommend to the staff traffic calming area for the study and for 2 days.
Yeah.
During school hours, or yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they can take that as well.
Yeah, can I get a mover and a seconder for that motion, please? Big Graham and Donna. Okay, all those in favor? Okay, awesome. Thank you for that. All right, let's go to 8.4.2. So this is Confederation Avenue. We get some feedback from the staff on what the results are on this one. I think it did meet it, but just some clarity if you don't mind.
Through you, Mr. Chair, similar situation. We received a petition. We did a traffic study, and we determined that the speeds weren't exceeding the 60 kilometer an hour. The 85th percentile was not exceeding the 60 kilometer an hour mark. There's already quite a bit of traffic calming on Confederation, so we're hoping that stays the way it is.
Questions and feedback from the committee? Mark, please go ahead.
Yes, through you, Chair. Just so we're clear, we have our interest. So I was not aware of this, but the individual who signed the petition, who provided, that's my former stepmother. So I don't think I'm in a position to participate in this part. So the record's clear. I'm gonna abstain from any comments or.
Oh, that's a first timer. I think so. At the beginning,
you declaring a conflict of interest?
I think that's what I heard, Justin.
Yeah, I heard a conflict of interest. Thank you, Justin.
Thank you.
a perceived conflict of interest. So I had to sit out this one.
That's okay. That's the first one we've ever had. So I appreciate the honesty. Thanks, Matt. Can we get any other questions or feedback from any other committee members that are not subject to this? Okay, and then Sean, you want us to pass a motion that we're okay with the city's report and close the books? Okay, I'd like to pass a motion that we agree with the city and that no further recommendations are needed. Can I get a mover and a seconder on that, please? Rebecca and Donna. Okay, all those in favor? Okay, thank you. Well, it's been an interesting day so far, so this is good. All right, 8.4.3, Carlton Street North and Brock Street. Can I get the city just get a little information on this one, please?
Very similar to the previous one is that this area was studied. Again, didn't meet the 85th percentile over 60 kilometers an hour, and therefore we're trying to close the petition.
Gotcha. Comments and feedback from the committee, please. Okay. Yeah, I think, yeah, okay. Yeah, we'd like to pass a motion that we agree with the city's findings and no further recommendations are needed. Oh, sorry, Nick. Sorry, Mark. You had a question?
No, sorry, Chair. I was gonna move for it.
Oh, you gotta wait till I'm done. Then you can.
Thank you.
Okay, I'd like to pass a motion that we agree with the city's recommendations and that there's no other action here needed. Can I get a mover and a seconder? Mark, awesome. Can I get a seconder for that one, please? Vikram. Okay, awesome. And all those in favor? Okay, great. All right, so now we're going to 8.5. So the community safety zone policy. So Alex and Paul, the floor is yours.
Yeah, so on November, excuse me, so on November 18, we plan to move forward this policy and get council approval for it. But for purpose of road safety committee, we would like the same endorsement for the road safety committee or any other feedback about it. The policy is quite lengthy, the document is quite lengthy, so we don't want to bore you on it, but I have brought in Paula to make a short presentation on how the policy would integrate into our traffic calming program.
Absolutely. Go ahead,
Paula?
Paula.
Okay, so I'm going to try and share a screen. Can everybody see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, everybody can see it? Okay, so the community safety zone policy, the presentation is going to outline the purpose and structure of the proposed policy, example applications of the warrant system and how candidate locations are selected, and then steps towards council approval and public communication. So what is a community safety zone? A community safety zone, let me put on my glasses. So, community safety zone, it's a stretch of roadway where the public, there's concern for public safety. The purpose of a community safety zone is to encourage driver compliance through increased fines. What does a community safety zone do? It improves safety in the area of concern by helping change driver behavior. Community safety zones let drivers know that within that area, the fines are going to be increased. Community safety zones are signed to indicate where the safety zone ends and begins. The rules of the road don't change within the zone, but the penalties for violations are increased. The goal of a community safety zone is to protect vulnerable road users and reduce aggressive driving. We achieve this through increased fines. Speeding has double the amount of fine, so to deter careless driving and excessive speeds. we want to improve safety through the higher penalties, aiming to change driver behavior, making the roads safer for all users, especially children and seniors. Why a formal community safety zone policy now? It would help us with traffic calming. It helps give a data-driven framework to determine where the zones could be applied. And it'll enhance traffic calming methods that we're using now. Traffic calming versus community safety zones. So traffic calming and community safety zones are complementary tools. They both aim to improve road safety, but they differ in the approach. Traffic calming is physical measures that slow down vehicles to change driver behavior. Community safety zones, legal designations with increased fines to strengthen compliance through enforcement. Traffic calming objectives is to reduce speeds via design. The implementations are measures through engineering. They're self-enforcing by design, and they're implemented through the city's traffic calming policy. Through a committee safety zone, the objective is to reinforce safety through fines and enforcement. The implementation is through council bylaw with signage and enforcement. The enforcement is through the NRP with high penalties. And by implementing the policy, that's how this would go through. The takeaway is traffic calming changes driver behavior through design, while community safety zones reinforce safety through legal and enforcement mechanisms. A community safety zone can be applied to an already traffic calmed area where physical measures are not feasible. Community safety zones support the City of Thorold's strategies, priorities for safety, sustainability, and service excellence. So community safety zones, they're usually chosen in an area of safety concerns with a high pedestrian generator. A high pedestrian generator would be a school, a playground, a park, community centers, senior facilities. And the areas would go through, would go through looking at different categories and applying a metric to them to come up with a point system. So the categories are operating speed, collision within the past 3 years. Is it a pedestrian generator in the area? Average daily traffic, access to sidewalks or active transportation facility, truck volume, and access frequency, intersections and driveways per kilometer. So in 2025, we applied some traffic calming measures to Allenberg Road, right at Ontario Public School. This would have been a good candidate for a community safety zone, but through traffic calming and petitions and PICs, we were able to propose a 3-way stop and some speed monitoring signs. Some future considerations would be additional sidewalks and enhanced crossing treatments. So we looked at it. We looked at it through the scoring or the matrix that would have applied if we had the policy in place. And although we didn't have a few of the items available to us, it did score high enough that it probably would have invoked a traffic safety zone. One of the other traffic calming areas we did was Port Robinson Road. And in this area, it's kind of the same as Kottmeyer. It's a road that didn't anticipate seeing the traffic volume that it is now because of developments around the area. So through that, we were able to PIC and petitions and feedback. We reduced the speed on the road. And we also, we're going to put in 2 speed humps, and those are slated for 2026. When we applied it through the framework, it doesn't currently signify that it would be a good opportunity for a traffic or for a community safety zone. And basically, just the next steps of council consideration through the report that's written and implementing the policy, identifying locations, bringing forward the designation bylaws, and creating awareness through city website and social media. And that is the end of the slideshow. And basically, speed management is one of the most effective safety strategies. So I think this would be a good policy to have.
Well, thank you very much for that, Paul. It was a very informative PowerPoint. I would like to open up to the members of the committee for any questions or comments. Just bear with me. I can't see everybody at the top anymore. Oh, there we go. Thank you. Vikram, please go ahead.
Through you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Dunsmore, we were under discussions of doing a trial of 40 kilometers per hour in the South Thorold region. Any update on that?
Through you, Mr. Chair, the area that we were doing the trial is 40 kilometers down in Port Robinson, and that they're all installed at this point in time.
Right.
We need to go back and do the traffic studies to see how things are actually being taken care of.
Okay.
Through you, Mr. Chair, is there any possibility of extending this to the rest of the city as well? Because I believe there was a point where we were discussing putting this across most of Thorold.
In terms of reducing the speed limit
Yes.
across the
Yes.
city, yes, that was certainly on the books. What we need to do is collect some data from the Port Robinson area where we did reduce the speed limits, and then report back to council.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Vikram. Any other questions or comments? So I'm kind of with Vikram. I think this is a great presentation, and it's really good. I'm kind of with like reducing the speed first instead of increasing the fines, because I know the NRP and those guys are stretched thin and out doing other things. So I don't think enforcement is the best policy. Obviously, if someone gets a ticket, it's gonna really hurt. But I feel like as a city, we should be able to be proactive in saying, if this is a problem, we should lower the speed limit, and then we can have that instead of having other people and try and enforce it. But that being said, I do like the idea, and it is a step in the right direction. Donna, please go ahead.
Mr. Chair, I agree with what you're saying, but I'm wondering if even the threat of a higher fine is enough to make a difference, and if the speed limit is lowered and there's the possibility of a higher fine, it might be enough that extra enforcement isn't actually necessary, just the threat of it is.
Yeah, so like a collaborative approach for both ways.
Oh.
I do agree with that. It's a very good comment. Mark, please go ahead.
In the legal word, we call that general deterrence. So very good, Donna. That's Parliament's intent to deter crimes and certain behavior. So I see Sean laughing, but yeah, we go through law school, we learn these words, and like but that's, and every day we just recite them: general deterrence, specific deterrence. But so good job, Donna.
Polly, go ahead, please.
Yeah, just to be clear, the zones, we had the zone selection. There has to be, we'd look at areas like schools first. It's not an overall. So you're hoping that there is enough enforcement, especially in those areas, right, already. So, because right now what we're seeing is people are concerned. So if we maybe just start with schools, that would be a good spot to start.
Agreed. Any other questions or comments from the team? Okay. I'd like to endorse this proposal and like to push it to council. If I get a mover or seconder on that, please. Donna, Vikram, all those in favor? Awesome. And get Jen, Paula, and the whole team. Well done. That was very well done. All right, let's move on to 8.6. So proposed council committees and boards policy update. Justin, you're up to bat.
So yeah, this is just a proposed change or update to our committee policy. To give some background, we have two current policies for committees and boards that are in place right now. One's from 2010 and one is from 2018. So this is just mostly just looking to update those by putting the two of them into one policy. And some of the major changes are definitions added, more clarity to qualification and eligibility, more clarification on how committees and boards operate, some clarification on how the different roles of the various people involved in committees, such as council members, chairs, staff liaison, and the clerk's department. And then a section about community liaison groups has been added, and the whole thing has just been reworked and to make more sense and to flow a little better. So those are some of the updates that are being proposed, and just opening up to see if there's any questions or comments from various committees before this goes to council.
Oh, that's what you sent like a month or so ago, right? Okay.
Yes, to chairs originally.
Yeah.
And it came to mostly every committee now.
Mark, go ahead.
Through you, Chair. Justin, I want to make sure that that the word advisory, that we are not just an advisory committee, but we can do events as well, correct? I guess
all committees are advisory committees.
Thank you, Justin. Me and myself and Justin were on the old age committee, and that was a point of for 30 minutes of the meeting. So I thought I'd keep the tradition going.
Thank you, Mark. Our legal beagle. Honor as always. Any other questions or comments for Justin on this one? Okay. I'd like to put a motion to go with the recommendation for Justin with the changes on this report. Can I get a mover and a seconder on this one, please? Vikram, Councillor DeRose. All those in favor? Okay, awesome. Let's move on to 8.7 on the agenda. So the 2026 committee meeting schedule. Justin, you got this one? I think it's pretty much going to be the same as this year, right?
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. You see the schedule on there. There is a little bit of difference to it. Let me just pull up the exact dates though. So generally all committee meetings are going to be ending by July 1st, including this one. And so I have 3 meetings before the end of that being proposed: February 4th, April 1st, and June 3rd.
Okay, so there's still be like a meeting after that, but it's like a different calendar year or something?
So committee meetings will end July 1st, and then a new committee will form in the new
Oh yeah, because elections,
2027 after the election.
Right. Thank you. Vikram, go ahead.
Justin, is it possible to have the February meeting sometime around 10th or 11th instead of 7th? Oh, sorry,
So-
instead of 4th, I believe.
But through the chair, these are just the proposed dates. So if the committee wants to make changes to these dates, they can discuss that.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind having the second week of the month because with my job, there's a lot of go lives and stuff at the beginning of the month. And unfortunately, I have to be out of the country for that. I would like to have it the second week of the month just to make sure that everyone can be available. Thoughts and comments from the committee?
And through you, Mr. Chair, I would also have the same issue. So second week of February is fine with me as well.
Sorry, actually, through the chair, now that I have revisited the schedule, that is council's budget meeting that night. So the February 11th will not work. You could do the following on the 18th, or you could do January 28th or some other options.
The February one works for me. January, I might be traveling as well for work.
Thoughts? What do you think, guys? The 28th, or you want to push it back to the third week of February. I guess for a bunch of pushovers, it's all good. It doesn't really matter from our side. So Vikram, I mean, 28th or third week, which one's better for you?
Third week.
Third week. Councilor DeRose, please go ahead.
You guys go ahead. I was gonna say to get it over 28th, closer to us in case we have any pressing issues, but no, I'll go with what Vikram said. It's fine.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to make sure everyone's available. There's probably gonna be a lot of stuff coming up in the wintertime. So yeah, let's do the third week of February. And is everyone okay with the second week of April and the second week of June?
So through the chair, just so I'm clear, the dates we are currently proposing is February 18th, April 1st, and June 3rd. Did you want to change the April and June as well?
Yes, please. The second
Let me
week
just check the
of April and second week of June, if possible.
So April 8th would be the other date, if
Okay.
that looks okay. And June, let me check June. June 10th, that should be okay. So I've
Okay.
got February 18th, April 8th, and June 10th.
Okay. Can I get a first and a seconder to approve the changes? Vikram, Rebecca, all those in favor? Okay. So we've got through all the agenda items, and we'll hit the roundtable discussion. Just be mindful of the city's time here. Councilor DeRose, please go ahead.
Yeah, just a quick short question for Sean. I got some calls about this. Where are we at with the three-way stop at the end of Pine and Beaver Dams, just up the street from the operations center there? Any-
Through you, Mr. Chair, it is in the hands of the region. Those are regional roads.
Right.
So they're trying to, we're working with them to try to get those installed as quickly as possible.
Okay, so it is on the agenda, Sean?
It's a regional decision. It's not
Right.
actually ours. We've
Okay.
requested it.
Is there a point man you could talk to or I could speak to, or just, they're looking for like when possibly?
Certainly, we've been talking to the project manager on the reconstruction project that's been going on. I think he's trying to, there's some issues related to the asphalt out there, and he's trying to kind of push it till all of that's taken care
Okay, but it's inevitable, correct?
of. I don't know.
Okay, okay. When if you do know, could you reach out to me?
For sure I will.
Thank you. That's
Thank
it
you,
for me.
Council.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Councilor DeRose. Vikram, please go ahead.
Through you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Dunsmore, some time back, we had discussed the possibility of having a left-hand turn light on next to the tunnel going in from Thorlstone Road east towards Davis Road. Any update on that? I believe it was under the jurisdiction of the Niagara region or the highways. Because recently we had a very massive accident in that particular area. People coming out of the tunnel, going straight on the road, and people who need to turn towards Davis Road coming from Thorlstone Road. There's no dedicated left turn there.
Through you, Mr. Chair, the no dedicated left-hand turn signal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we have had those conversations with the MTO, and I'm not sure if they're going to install it or not. I believe they did intersection counting, and I don't think it warrants the dedicated signal. But we did ask them to renew that, and I'm just not sure where they're at just yet, because it's been a little difficult this summer with the closure, with the tunnel being the way it was.
The request comes because the frequency or the vehicular traffic on Highway 58 has increased leaps and bounds now. So it's producing a lot of pressure on that area.
Okay, thanks, Vikram. Don, did you have something?
I don't want to extend this too long. Just wonder if there's been anything going to be done when that apartment building is finished on St. David's Road between Ormond and the canal there. There's a new apartment building that went up there. It's all built now that they're doing detail work, but it's a mess there now. And there's only sidewalks on part of that road on one side. So I was just wondering if if that was paid attention to when the apartment was approved.
Certainly it was paid attention to. The difficulty is going to be is it's going to be part of a reconstruction of the St. David's Road. So we were talking earlier about St. David's a little bit further to the west. This will be the next phase after that. So it's probably 5 or 6 years away from that. There is an expectation that the developer clean up the area as it is. But adding sidewalks and stuff like that, that'll be a responsibility of the city as we come and urbanize that road.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other questions or comments? No? Okay, well, I really appreciate everyone's time. So since we did change the meeting, the next meeting will be held on February 18th, right, Justin? I got that correct? Okay, thank you. And this meeting adjourned. It's 5:46 p.m. and everyone have a wonderful rest of the evening. Thanks again, everybody. Have a great one.